Hey guys, so we're gonna talk about the Q data driven events that we are doing in this Omega Race game. So we have done some changes to the game itself. So first of all, uh, let's start with our game manager. That's the one I started my coding with. Uh, so I created shift functions that are happening in this manager itself, and then just an enum for player 1 and player 2, and then that's our structure, data structure that I'm using right now. So that's a shift function, then the player depending on the axis, and the vector position for all the functions that are happening in this here. Then we have game manager. I created a queue for our game data. So every time, let's go ahead and look in the update function. So this is where I am creating a queue. So I'm just getting a game data and doing the rotate function for the player 1, adding the axis, then move function for player 1, the same thing for player 2 here. And for buttons, I'm doing the same thing. So if the button is pressed, then we just enqueuing all these events. And at the end of the update, I'm just running the call. But the good thing is, it's not just calling the events that are being queued in update, but also in the other functions. So let's take a look at this respawn function. So I was just looking through and I thought maybe I can use the respawn function as well. So all I'm doing is that's why I added a vector in the data structure as well. So if it's a respawn function, we'll use the position, and we enqueuing those events too. So that's one. And then this is for the ship collision events. So that's an enum. Ship is colliding with a mine, with a fence, and a missile. And what events are happening right now? I just added a collision event because movement, rotation, and everything is taken care of in the game manager itself. So we're just making getting a copy of the mine, missile, and fence depending on what kind of collisions events is happening. And the same thing queue for this one as well, which is being initialized in the constructor. And if you can see in our update, I'm just running I don't need to do anything over in the top of the update, but all I'm doing is if there's any queued events, then we're just dequeuing them and calling the function for that. So I've created a function call that is actually going through the events. Right now we just have collision events, so it is calling collision calls, and in which if you take the visitor events, the visitor patterns that we're using, I'm just enqueuing data in that part. So if it's for fence, for missile or mine. So same thing we can do for our mine and missile as well. All we have to do is create a structure and it can run accordingly. So for now, that is most of the work I came up with. And let me just give you a demo by running the game itself. So that is the movements of both one player and two player. Uh, that's missiles. That's mines. Same thing for player. There you go. So it's moving on both sides and doing that, and we depend accordingly getting points as well. So that's all or for this week for now. We're coming up with networking as well. I'm just gonna make more updates to this function, this data driven, cute data driven methods.